Welcome back to the Sin and Twin podcast. It's your girl Sin, and I'm here with my twin,
Jay, aka HardBernard. Without
today's guest. We've got.
I don't send you some cursing.
Why don't you tell us a bit about your business? We have this thing. Like I despise Jay.
I'm just here for comedic relief. I don't know why she's around.
This is me, guys. I want to rewind a little bit.
You are now listening to the Sin and Twin podcast.
Welcome back to the Sin and Twin podcast. It's your girl Sin, and I am here with my twin.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Jay Bernard, aka HardBernard, aka the alopecia creature. What's good? We got a very special guest today. I've been trying to get him on the podcast for a while. Got my boy Hollywood Herb here. He's a musician, an MC, frontman, entertainer, guitar player, everything. You do everything, huh?
Almost everything.
Yeah, welcome, bro. Thanks for coming on the pod
Thank
today.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please hit the like button and subscribe. We are trying to get to 200 subscribers, so help us hit that goal.
That's right. So if you've got questions, feedback, anything you want us to know or may want us to talk about, feel free to send us an email over at sinandtwinpodcast@gmail.com. And then once you do that, we will be addressing those questions and concerns and feedback and all of the above on the next episode.
Yeah,
So
if you got some beef or whatever, just send it in. We'll address you. We don't give a fuck.
yeah, bring it on.
We'll tell you you're trash. Maybe you're right. Maybe you'll change our mind. We'll tell you you're right.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so let's get into it really quick. So we're going to start with sports this time.
Okay.
WWE brought Raw, Monday Night Raw, to Netflix, which was perfect timing for me to get back into wrestling. So when we grew up, we were watching wrestling
Raw,
probably more than we
SmackDown
should have.
every week. Yeah. That was the thing. Herb, you're not into wrestling, right?
No, not at all.
Never?
No. Men in briefs, hugging and throwing each other around, not really my thing.
Wrestling is definitely a little suspect.
But you know what's funny, actually? As a kid, my cousins loved it. And we was at our grandma's house, and we had one TV, and they all wanted to watch wrestling. And I had my little sister, and she wanted to watch like Winnie the Pooh or something like that. And I'm standing for my sister, so I was like, "Yo, we changing this shit." And I got my ass whipped. And Winnie the Pooh was not watched that night. And now that I'm older and bigger, nobody want to fight me now.
Yeah, you're like, yo, I'm coming back for blood.
Yeah, I want my leg back, but I guess
over the wrestling shit.
Right? Yeah, they don't want to wrestle now. So
Yep.
Yeah, there were 6 of us in our household. It was 3 boys and 3 girls. So with wrestling being such a big thing in the household, you could imagine it was like monkeys all over the house.
But
like,
y'all all liked it, right? You all enjoyed it?
Yeah, we did all
Yeah.
watch it for the most part. But this guy always thought, I can't even tell you how many times Jay has done the Walls of Jericho on me. Is it the Walls of Jericho?
Yeah, the Walls of Jericho submission move.
There you
Yeah,
go, man.
he practiced his wrestling moves that never got applied to anything on me
Gotta do it to
and
some-
on our siblings.
Well, the
There
thing
you
is
go.
like, wrestling, everything is predetermined. So the person has to technically let you do that move. You know what I'm saying?
Which
If you
Jay
try
would
to
scream
do-
at me to let me do this.
If you try to do any of those moves on somebody, like if I came up in the street to you and try to hit you with a stone cold stunner, you're just gonna punch me straight in my face. You know what I mean? I'm
No,
gonna
it's
be
a
like,
team effort,
Definitely.
even if you're the one taking the move. And that's the thing. So I decided to sit down and watch it. Jay's back into wrestling, full throttle.
Yeah, about
so,
2 years ago. Like she said, we watched it growing up, and probably about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I got back into it, and it was still pretty shitty, but it's gotten a lot better with Triple H running shit. So
Yeah.
I got to pique my interest again, and the real reason I got back into it is I went to like a local independent show, and I was like, oh, this shit is actually really cool live. So then
Right.
I started paying more attention, and I'm still not like, I don't watch every Monday or Friday or whatever, but when they do the pay-per-views and stuff, I'd be interested. So.
Did you do you guys watch South Park?
here and there.
Did you
Yeah,
ever see
not
the
a
South
lot.
Park wrestling episode?
Nah.
Oh, you gotta watch it. I'm not gonna spoil it for you,
Oh,
but
now
you gotta. It's
hold
the
on.
funniest
Let
thing I've ever
me
seen.
make a note because I definitely got to watch it.
Yeah, send them emails to Sin and Twin if you've seen that episode, because we do have a lot of our friends are big South Park fans, and I know they're
Great
real
show.
good at.
But watch that. If you like wrestling, especially, you'll love it. I'm telling you,
yeah.
you'll love it.
Yeah, no, South Park is pretty genius. Like I said, like I've only seen a handful of episodes, but they've been doing that show so long, and it's like
Right.
it's kind of like SNL in a way that it's like everything's very current, and they make fun of like shit that's going on today. And
It's
stuff,
not as
so.
good now as it was back in the day, but it's still
because they were
watchable.
able to get away with way more back in the day. That's
a
why.
fact.
And so like a lot of people are like, it sucks now. I mean, look at what they did back when we were kids. They were what was the J-Lo thing?
Oh,
Oh, it was the taco
burrito.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
see, I
you
remember
can't
that
do
one.
that now. You know what I mean? Like
I
it's,
still say that all the time. Like,
That
taco,
shit
taco,
was
taco,
hilarious.
burrito.
you would.
Taco
But yeah,
flavored kisses.
to your point, like it's just like The Simpsons, right? Like they've been long standing for
Simpsons
so
too.
long, and they still don't miss with what they're bringing up. So, I told my son, I was like, all right, come on, like sit down, like this is like a rite of passage, right? We're gonna sit here, we're gonna watch some wrestling, like maybe I'll get him into it, and that's an excuse for me to go to an event or something. He did the typical like. You can tell they're not actually punching each other.
He was
in
like,
the
"Yo,
face.
Ma, you corny."
Yeah, like there was a couple times where he's like side eyeing me, but he got into it though.
Yeah.
Like he got into it. He started like rooting for people, and then we didn't finish the whole thing in one night. And then the next day he's like, "Yo, are we gonna finish Raw tonight?" And I was like, "Yes,
Nice,
it's happening.
nice.
It's happening."
Yeah, it was. I thought it was really good. I wasn't sure if they were gonna like start doing more like cursing and stuff because it's
I
on
was
Netflix,
wondering.
but they really didn't. They didn't change it too much. They just kind of brought some legends back and stuff to kind of promote it, and I thought it was real good. They opened up with the Roman Reigns match and Solo Sikoa. That was dope. And the main event was real dope with CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that, and if you haven't watched wrestling and you have any interest, I think it's probably a good time to get back into it.
It for sure it is, and I just want to say they opened up the first Netflix premiere of Monday Night Raw with The Rock, right? Like after Triple H opened the show and everything, The Rock comes out, and then you can literally see the goosebumps on dude's arms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the dude comes out, they are screaming for him. It's like this big thing. And then for us, The Rock was huge when we were watching it as kids.
Well, that's what the company's real good at is like using nostalgia to get people interested back into it.
No kidding.
And, like you got to think if your kid, let's just say, your son did like WWE already.
Yeah.
Like that's so the parents see and they're like, oh, I kind of want to watch this shit too. You know what I mean?
I was tripping, bro. Like The Rock comes out later on. The Undertaker came out. I forget who else, made an appearance that I was like, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Like that's from my childhood, literally. So,
Yep.
and then especially because we used to watch it with our sister that passed away too. Like she used to actively watch that with us. So it just also brings me back to those days too when she used to watch it with us. And I was cheering. And if you would have talked to me like 2 weeks ago, I would have been like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah, I'll be calling
it's
her. I'm
wrestling,
like,
you know
yo,
what I'm
watch
saying?
this shit. I'm telling her. She's like, yeah, I'll watch it maybe.
yeah.
I'm like,
And
nah,
then by
I'm
the
telling
end of
you,
a match,
shit's
I was
fire.
like, and then also, the women in wrestling have always been bad as hell.
That's a fact.
Always.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But these chicks are next level, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
shout
gonna have
out
to check that
her.
out though.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
nah,
you.
they're-
I'm gonna have to
I'm
watch.
telling you.
It's a lot of fun women in it.
Even just watching that one women's match, it was Liv Morgan
The
versus
women fight?
Yeah.
Like, are they
No,
tough
they're-
or?
Yeah, like
They
Rhea
do.
Ripley.
No,
Rhea
no,
Ripley
they're
is slamming.
not like Rhea Ripley.
With like muscles like
Nah,
she's
some
a
of them,
beast,
some of them
but
got
she's
muscles,
still bad,
but
bro.
they still look good.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I don't
Yeah,
know.
not all
Yeah.
of them have muscles like that though.
Yeah.
Some of
No,
them are just like,
she is like she's built like a tank, bro, but like in the best way. And she's like nicely cut up. She got a great ass, and like her whole
I'm not
persona.
because Stephanie gonna come after me after this episode. You guys trying to get me in trouble here.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Listen, she's got this whole persona that's very like Marilyn Manson-esque, right? But she really knows how to work it. And that's the thing. Wrestling's dramatic. It's so theatrical and dramatic that it's almost like impossible not to get a little wrapped up into what they're doing. And then Liv Morgan, who she fought, is very Harley Quinn
Oh yeah.
style. She's very like cutest thing you've ever seen and like perfect beautiful smile, but she looks a little bit like a psychopath. Like,
She
but
from
in the way that
tri-state,
you're like,
too. She from Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Is she?
They get crazy over there.
Yeah.
but it's also like in a way where you're like, I'm willing to risk it.
Rhea's shoulders might be a little too broad for Herb, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She
I
might
can
be
see
like, I
that.
don't know about
Speaking
that.
of women in the, what is this, WWE?
Yeah.
Is Vince McMahon, whatever his name is
McMahon.
Is he still?
Nah, he's out.
They got him out of there.
Yeah, they got him out of there. That's why he's getting so good.
Yeah,
Well, he was
yeah.
whack at his job.
Nah, he was good. Like, he's a
He was
legend.
problematic.
Well, yeah.
But you know what it is like some of the storylines were just like too over the top with him. And like, you know, where they'd have storylines where like him, where like, you know, because his wife was in the company.
He had a wife?
Yeah.
And he was doing all that?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Like,
Oh, wow.
yo, bro, even in the storylines, it would be like his wife's paralyzed in a wheelchair and he's over here kissing up on the young superstars. You know what I'm saying?
He was for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So they say like that, you know, he was portraying his real life. You know what I'm saying?
Life imitating
And not
art.
to mention his
Exactly.
daughter, Stephanie McMahon, who's
He got a
married.
daughter?
Yeah,
got a daughter.
she's been helping him run the company for years since we were kids. She
Yep.
was still very heavily involved, and she was married. She is married to Triple H, one of the wrestlers, who now runs it.
Yeah, he's the one who controls
Oh, so it's
everything.
still in
Right.
the family.
It's
Yeah,
still in the
it's still in
family,
the
but
family.
even when Vince McMahon was running things, the position not the positions, but the scenarios that he was putting his daughter in.
What?
And the storylines that he was creating
Yeah,
for his
bro,
daughter.
we're
Yo, there's a
fucked up.
documentary. You got to check it out. I haven't
Yeah,
seen it
yeah,
yet,
yeah.
but from
I'll
what
send
I've heard,
that to you, Herb. They got a documentary on Netflix explaining all that
This
shit.
nigga's a freak, bro. All right.
yeah.
Nah, it's wild. It's
Okay.
wild.
That's different. When you said daughter, I was like, oh, boy.
I
Well, that's the
know.
thing, yo. After you see that documentary, you're gonna be like, yo, that's
Yeah,
kind of
I
foul.
might
Like,
gotta watch that. bro.
I'm probably gonna be so disturbed afterwards.
I
I'm
seen
gonna
Oh,
be
you
like,
still
yo.
haven't seen it?
You sent
I
it?
still haven't
Oh,
seen
my
it.
God.
yeah, nah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
he's crazy. But I will say, Roman Reigns, for the ladies out there, dear God, watch the first match. Just watch it. You know what I mean? If you're into
Moving
The
on,
Rock,
not gonna-
what you say?
I said moving on. Nah.
If you're into The Rock, great. Watch it for Roman Reigns. He does not disappoint.
Oh, Roman Reigns is a dude.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
A-
switched
a
over.
beautiful,
Got you.
beautiful machine of a man.
I'm talking shit.
But we'll move on. On that note,
Anyway, check out
we can
Raw on
objectify
Netflix
them
every
too.
Monday night. Definitely a good watch.
Yeah. Moving on to something I wanted to bring up and get your perspectives on. You know, currently what's going on right now with the fires in California. California is just on fire right now, and people are losing their homes left and right. There is a massive conversation right now about how people don't feel bad for the celebrities because, you know, where these fires are located, there are a lot of wealthy people that are losing their homes, and some celebrities have been affected by it, by losing their homes. And there's people going on social media and saying, well, you got the money, just build another one. Like, you know, what about, you know how the internet gets. Well, what about this group of people who's suffering? Like, we shouldn't really care about what these celebrities are going through right now. And that now celebrities are kind of snapping back and saying, well, we're people too.
And that's belongings. Like, you could have something special in your house that you had, whether you're rich or poor, you could have something that your mother gave you
So that's the thing.
20, 30 years ago, and now that's gone.
For me, like I'm somebody who holds on to things, even if it's
Hoarder.
Yeah, I'm not a hoarder, but it takes very little for an item to have sentimental value to me. I guess is the best way that I could put it. And I'm gonna be rich one day. You feel me? Like I'm gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All day long I'm manifesting this. It hasn't happened yet, but
I'm gonna need help when I'm older, so please get rich.
I'm just saying, like, when I get rich and when I'm doing real well, my crib is gonna be filled with things that have a lot of sentimental value to me. So I me personally, I'm like, yeah, I feel for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Sure, they got money to rebuild and stuff like that, but there are certain things that are not replaceable,
For sure.
right?
Sure. Yeah, I my heart goes out to everybody who's going through that right now. And I think about that a lot, like how, we complain about these things in our lives, or, you get annoyed about dumb shit, and it's like, there's people out there starving, people's houses burning down, people in different countries going through, that are at war,
It's perspective, bro. Like, I'm out here bitching because it's cold in January in New York. You know what I'm saying?
chose
I'm like,
this
this
life.
cold. I can't believe it. I come outside, my face hurts. You know what I'm saying? But I would take this, obviously, over a crazy wildfire that tons of fire departments can't get under control. And there's this one comedian, Pete Lee, who he was on the Burt Kreischer cruise that I was on, and he was just a gem of a human being. It was the sweetest guy, and he's from Wisconsin, and like his whole thing is just like being this, you can't be mad at him for anything, right? Just moved back to California and lost his home after a month. Damn. And he's like, listen, and he had to do Jimmy Fallon the next day.
Oh, wow.
Which is a huge deal for comedians to get on Jimmy Fallon, you know what I mean? Yeah. And to be able to do their set. But, he was like, I don't want to cancel. I don't want to, I'm good. Let me do this because we need to find a way to cope with what's going on. And he even said it when he was on there. He was like, listen, I know a lot of people think, oh, they're rich, they can recover. He's like, I'm not rich. I'm a comedian.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot. You know what I'm saying?
That's another misconception. I'm sure you can agree, Herb, is that like people think because you do music or entertainment that it's like you got money because like you're doing shit, and it's like that's not always the case for everybody. Especially like if you got kids and a house and everything, like that is not easy.
Especially like a comedian, because if you're a musician and you get like a hit, you can at least get residuals off that.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
With comedy, it's a little different unless you got a special. Like it's like you're gigging, you're eating what you kill every night. It's not like consistent.
The grind is real. These comedians are literally sometimes running in New York City from one club to the next, to the next, to the next. It's a grind. It's a grind. And that's why I don't do stand-up, because I started to do stand-up, but I was like, I can't commit. Yeah, I can't commit myself to being in these comedy clubs the way that, you have to be. And it's like, I respect it too much. I respect it too much to not be able to give it all of that. So now I just try to be funny on here.
There you go.
There's your platform.
This is my platform. So I'm glad we all agree. People are, despite how much money they have, I don't think anybody should have to lose everything that they own, in their homes. And, I think there's just people on social media who just lack empathy, bro.
Yeah, everybody's just here to argue.
I agree.
Basically.
Like, we were just talking about that. It's like her be posting a lot of shit on Facebook, and I know it'd be triggering people. And
that's up to them. What I really think is I don't think anybody truly really cares. We have to really look at the word care to me, because I care about my nieces. I care about my mom. I care about my family. I don't know any of these people whose houses are on fire. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not to say that obviously there's a level of sympathy there, but it doesn't change my day at all.
Right.
Sure.
So I think people, it doesn't change their day either. So I think people are being disingenuous, and I think going online just to say, I don't care if a celebrity house burned down. I don't think you care if anybody's house burned down unless it's yours or someone you know.
True.
So in my opinion, those people are kind of trolling, because you're going on the internet to state an opinion that doesn't matter to you. You're not invested in it at all. You're simply saying that just to get a reaction, and you're saying it at the expense of people who are more successful than you are. So I've never understood the hate for rich people because they're rich. Like, we all want to be affluent and comfortable at some point. So the whole thing about, oh, they're rich, I don't care, they're not human, I think all that's really corny. So that's my opinion on that.
That's a good point, because you're right. There is always an attack on the people that are in a better position than you are in. You know what I mean? Like, for some people, I'm not saying everybody, obviously.
Right.
But there does seem to be, that's what social media and the internet is these days, right? It's just people offering all of these angry,
well, like you said,
angry
though,
opinions.
So much of it is disingenuous. Even like you said, even if it's, saying something positive, you know what I mean? Like, people just don't care, and they'll post it, and a couple months later, you could be like, "Oh yeah, remember when you posted?" It'd be like, "Nah."
Exactly.
Right.
Like, why is everybody getting so mad for it? You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I've never understood that.
And bro, that's the thing is like, when I see something on Facebook or a status or a tweet or whatever, and I disagree with it, like, I'm not gonna be like, "Yo, fuck you,"
right?
You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes even like, I'll see something like her post that I disagree with. I think it's funny, and I'll laugh to it because it's funny. You know what I mean? And
right.
It's a joke.
Because it's not real. Like, social media is not real, and
or have it be a conversation starter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's like, that's cool to if you post something about an artist you like or that you dislike, and somebody's like, bro, have you checked this record out though? And you're like, oh, I never heard that, and now, you got multiple people talking about it, and you might come back and say, "Yo, that record was actually dope. I didn't know he actually put that out back in 03 or whatever." You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Now it's a valuable exchange.
And I feel like that's probably what social media was like when it first came out. Obviously, it's like it's hard to tell. Like we were there when it first came out, but you know, like the whole point of like an online forum is to like talk and like share information, gather information, and give opinions on it. But now to me, it's just like a lot of it's just toxic, obviously, because everybody is like, you got to think about it too. Like somebody's having a bad day, they're pissed. So their response to your status tomorrow might be totally different.
Right.
You know
Oh,
what
there's
I'm saying?
so many times. And listen, I need to change this about myself because there's so many times where I see somebody post something and like immediately I'm like, oh, I got time today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nah, that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? And like, I could give examples, but I'm not even going to get into it, all that right now.
No, say me. Go
But
ahead.
not like, you know what it is? What was the one that was the other day? It was something along those lines. And sometimes I really just be going back and forth. I don't go back and forth with people, but in my mind,
Right.
I'm like, I think I'm gonna do it today because they caught me on the wrong day. You know what I mean? But that's the thing is that like, either way, I had a guy tell me in the comments. No, I responded to somebody. It wasn't even my post, bro. I was so mad.
see,
I
you
was
going
so mad
crazy.
at myself. I was so mad at myself for doing this. I can be a defensive person. I can, especially
Facts.
things. Jay loves to remind me of that. Especially things that I feel obviously like really passionate about or something that I feel really represents me. But a man in the comments commented, "Oh, just another Puerto Rican,
Oh no.
just another Puerto Rican DJ trying to take credit or like
Oh, I know
something
what that's
for like the
about.
start
Okay.
of hip hop, and just like
There's
everything
a lot
else."
of those arguments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
right now especially.
oh
yeah.
yes, exactly. Just like everything else you guys try to steal from our culture because the Puerto Rican culture is corny and y'all got nothing of your own, so you got to steal everything from us black people.
Ain't Bad Bunny Puerto Rican?
Very.
Oh yeah, y'all good, man.
So, but it
Well,
just
also, I mean, it's like black people and Puerto Rican people started hip hop.
Well,
Like,
okay, hold on.
this is a very big debate these days.
in New York, at least. That's what I'm gonna say.
Let's not say black and Puerto Rican started it because it was started by DJ Kool Herc, who is Jamaican, and it took a little while for y'all was there for sure, but it did take. It wasn't right away. It was a couple blacks, a couple Morenos, as you would say, and then y'all came in and y'all did y'all flavor.
Hold on, but
Yeah.
Herc was also working side by side. Damn, bro. I just watched a video on this because I was looking into this debate. He, you know what? I'm not going to speak on it because I don't like to speak on things that I'm not 100% sure on or educated on. But there was a video, and the whole point of the video was so that, black people and Puerto Ricans can stop arguing about this topic. It's like, yo, we all come together. Nobody's got to sit here and try to take credit for what another person did or another culture did or anything like that. Right. It was a video like, hey, let's just give each other our flowers and call it a day.
I agree with that.
But it was something that Herc was tied in with somebody else. But again, I'm not discrediting what you're saying right now, but it was a very interesting video. So I got to go back to it and see it. But I'm definitely not arguing what you're saying.
I don't think Puerto Ricans stole anything. I'm not accusing y'all of that
Yeah,
at all.
yeah,
I don't think it was a stealing thing.
Right.
I just wouldn't say that you started with us, but you were there in the very beginning before the whites for sure. I'll give y'all that. You was on board way before the whites were, so I'll give y'all
Those
that.
Puerto Rican rappers and b-boys and DJs.
Yeah, y'all was dancing.
Yeah.
Y'all was dancing. And there's Charlie Chase. There's definitely there in the origins.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean? But not started it. But definitely was like second birthday I was there blowing out candles with us. For sure. For sure.
So this guy leaves a comment talking about like Puerto Rican culture's corny. That's why y'all got to steal everything from us. He had a moment.
Yeah, that's not right at all. I don't believe that at all.
Of course I see that and I'm like, and I'm laughing at it because I'm just like, people, man, like, therapy's a thing, bro. Like we talk about it.
That's what we were
talk
just
about
saying,
it a
though.
lot, bro. Like mental health is really discussed these
Somebody
days.
always has to be mad about something.
That's what I'm saying. And the video had nothing to do with hip hop.
Oh, it wasn't even on
It had
that.
nothing to do with hip hop. And you know how New York is, like, especially the boroughs. It's very much like, the waters are muddied, however you want to put it. But I say all this to say that comment had nothing to do with anything in the video. And I laughed at, and then I responded and I was like, oh, so what did I say? I said something along the lines of, wait, Puerto Ricans have no culture?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And and we steal everything. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what I said. And he was like, exactly. And then doubled down like times 3. And then like,
That shit happens with the reggae shit though too.
I just think that people are crazy, specifically on social media. And then also too, there were a lot of images of the Hollywood sign in California on fire, like flames engulfing it, and everybody was like, oh my God, this is like so. It was AI.
Oh, damn.
And people were.
I mean, that's good. It's not real. I was definitely going to use that for something. Like how they don't fight. But I want to say before you get off that, I don't think you defending Syph, or I feel like in your case, that's a little more justified than like me saying I don't like Metallica and then someone in the comments saying I'm a hater. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
That's you. Someone was coming for your friend.
Yeah.
And then furthermore, for your entire culture. Like, you know what I mean? I think that other people just kind of just go off for no reason. Like, they're not even invested in the thing that they're arguing about.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing too. Like I'm because I normally will not engage because I don't got time for that, right?
Right.
But then this happened and I was like, come on. Because this whole, it's becoming such an issue, what I'm seeing lately, the whole like black versus Puerto Rican or black versus Latino. Like, why are we getting more segregated from each other? Like, we are not each other's enemies.
I agree.
Why are we doing this? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, we have plenty of common enemies.
Absolutely.
That we can be directing this anger towards. We can't
yeah.
be fighting within ourselves, because to me that's internal conflict, and we should not be doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I see it all the time, and then especially with women, and it's so disappointing to see with women. You know, you've got black women saying like, why are these Puerto Ricans getting box braids and, you know, stealing this and stealing that, and it's like, I'm not invalidating how they feel. I know that cultural appropriation sucks. I know that. And sucks is an understatement. I know that can hit in a way that really births a lot of anger, right? Because I've experienced it myself. There's certain things that, you know, certain women do that I'm like, can we have anything? You know what I mean?
Right.
But then at the same time, I check myself and I'm like, listen, you can change your perspective and think, all right, it's a tipping the hat to, you know, our swag and, you know, what we created. It means they like it. They support. Anyway, that's a whole nother can of worms we could get into.
For sure.
But I think that day, to Jay's point, you know, like my
You was
response to
having a bad
that.
day, so you was like, let me go off on this one.
Yeah, I think I just had very little patience that day. And like, you know, my response, like tomorrow, I could have looked at that and been like, clown, and just kept it moving.
Mm-hmm.
But that day, I apparently had time.
Yeah, you had time.
And by time, I mean lack of patience. So yeah, so that's how all this stuff always comes up on social media with people who just got too much time, if you ask me.
Sounds like we know what's got you fed up then.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
You know what's crazy? That's not even my fed up.
Oh, wow. All
But
right.
we can get into it. But speaking to the Hollywood sign, you know, and people were tripping over that Hollywood sign, and like they were like, it's so symbolic, and this is the apocalypse.
And that shit was fake.
And it was fake. So I thought of you, Jay, when
Well, I guess this is a perfect time to bring on our segment called Fed the Fuck Up. And we're going to talk about what we're fed up with. And my main one this week is AI. And not AI like just AI. It's people falling for AI.
right.
How can you see these videos and really, truly, I mean, not all of them. Some of them are good. Like I didn't see the Hollywood sign, but I'll just use this as an example. I saw a video of Brock Lesnar and Khabib, these two UFC fighters. I'm not a UFC fan, but I know, obviously, they're very famous people. And I know for a fact that they're about 50 to 100 pounds apart, so they wouldn't fight even if they were, you know, still fighting for the company. And it was basically them at a press conference, and they start getting physical, and then Brock Lesnar, like, knocks Khabib out. And people were commenting like, yo, when did this happen? And I'm like, yo, how can you not fucking see this is fake? Like, it looks fake. Like,
Well, especially with AI too, like a dead giveaway for AI is hands and arms.
Yo,
It
that
just
shit-
does not have a good grasp on fingers. So it's like if you need to really decipher, like, because there was one with Obama and Trump. Jay, I swear to you,
Oh yeah, I think I seen
at Jimmy
that.
Carter's funeral,
Yeah, I
it
think I
was
seen that.
it was a video. Like, you know, like there's a lot,
Bro,
you know,
that's the thing though. It's like every time I see an AI video, immediately I'm like AI. Like I can see. Like,
right. Yeah.
I don't have X-ray fucking vision over here. Like
Nah,
I don't
dude.
understand. And then it's like people comment on. It's kind of like when Facebook came out and like the older crowd would like see like satire articles and be like, "Oh my god, did you hear about this?" I'm like, "That's fucking fake." You know what I mean? Like it was like the Onion wrote it or Hard Times. You know?
Right,
I remember
right.
that.
So I feel like that's like with AI now is like the same thing as the satire articles where it's like they post it and you got all these goofy people like commenting like they think it's real.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I might be stupid because I can't really recall seeing an AI video that, like anything like what you're describing. So maybe
Yeah.
I seen one and I was tricked. So now I gotta like.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna send you some shit because like I said, there's like stuff that like at first looks real and then they'll have like two dudes like kiss. Like, you know, definitely don't kiss. You know, but it's like it was Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Oh
So
man.
somebody made an AI video of them like in each other's face like for the press conference because you know they fought. And then they like start kissing and you're like, yo, what the fuck? But it's like I'm like, I know that's not real. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
That's what I'm saying. The one with Obama and Trump, they were at Jimmy Carter's funeral. There's already a lot of like genuine real pictures of the two of them talking, right? Like they're side by side and they're talking like that.
Yeah.
But then somebody took a video of them talking and then turned it into like the two of them throwing hands at the funeral. And I swear to God, when I saw it on Instagram, all the comments were hilarious. Of course, to Jay's point, you take it to Facebook and the older generation is on there and they're like, oh my goodness. Like there were
I knew
a couple.
these two were friends the whole time.
Yeah, like there were just a couple of ridiculous comments on there by people that you know that they did not take the time to really take into consideration, is this a real video or not?
Speaking of AI and comments, you know what kills me is when people make an AI picture of themselves and like people comment on it. This looks so good. You look great, and then they'll be like, "Oh, thank you."
It's just
like,
what I'm
bro,
talking
that's
about.
not. But no,
I'm
but
fed up.
it's the person who posted it that they know that that's
Yeah.
not.
They're
them,
not
and
copping
like,
to it.
They're like, "Yeah, I did my." I'm like, "Yo, bro, what are you doing?" You know what I mean?
It'd
I don't
be
know.
like them on a unicorn or something.
Yeah,
And fucking
or it'd
somebody's
be
like,
like
yo.
a really ugly, no disrespect, overweight woman that's like fit on the beach, and it's like, yo, bro, you know that's not her, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be a hater.
I'm
You know
sorry.
what saying?
So what app did they use to make that?
I don't even know, bro. I'm not on it like that.
Shows her as a WWE wrestler
Yeah, it'd be
smoking
like, yo,
body.
bro,
Yo,
you
I'm
know that's
not even
not
gonna
shit,
hold
bro.
you. I got an AI photo of myself, and it's like this in the gym. It's not my body, obviously, but it's my face. And
Right.
yo, I'm ripped. I am like six
Yo,
pack.
I
muscles.
don't even do that shit because I'm gonna see it and be like, damn.
No, it's depressing.
Never look like that.
It's so
Same
depressing. No, I did. I played around with an AI app and like did a couple like rounds of like photos because I was like, this is so entertaining to me. But what's entertaining to me is that like, Jay, you'll do it the way I did it, and then you're like, do I have a lazy eye? Wait, why every
Or you
picture I
start-
look cross-eyed? What's going on
Start
here?
picking shit out. You're like, yo.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so that's the thing though, like especially like in the corporate world. So like for my job, there's a couple people that I know their picture for like for the Microsoft Teams, like how we communicate with each other, their picture is AI.
Right.
I know that because I've seen those templates and I'm like, I know for a fact that's an AI photo but hey, you know, like go off. But like to you, that's a work picture, right? Because the thing is that like you can do different templates where it's like business and it'll just give you some headshots using your photos or whatever.
But
But
them
like
shits
you
is definitely
said-
souped up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm skinny in mine, so imagine. My face is slimmer. I look like 16-year-old me. I love it. But then you start nitpicking. But to your point, yeah, it's like when everybody was going nuts with the Snapchat filters.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy time.
You know what I'm saying?
That was a crazy time.
Filter's a little out of control, man.
Filter. Well, now you got body tune. Nothing on the internet is real, bro.
Nah,
It's getting crazy.
That's another thing.
Nothing.
That's the way I live too now. Is like, the older I get, the more I realize like how full of shit everybody is.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Even like after I started working out, or like, you know, I've been really following boxing for like almost 10 years now, and it's like the steroid use, you know what I mean? Like, you don't realize, like, when I used to like work out, I used to be like, oh, you know, I want to look like that guy if I, you know, get shredded. And then
Right.
you realize like the dudes who are really shredded, all the motherfuckers on the needle.
Oh,
Yep.
boy.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's these things that like everything is just like a gimmick. You know what I mean?
It
like,
is. It's all a gotcha thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, even all the women all over Instagram, you know, like the influencers on Instagram and the bikini models and the bottle girls and all that stuff.
Yo, you know what I'd be wondering?
It's
you know,
all edited.
You know those videos are like, there's like a pretty girl and she's like, she eats like 10 Krispy Kreme donuts.
Right.
She like smashes them together and like she eats all this like crazy shit, right?
This is what Jay watches when nobody's
Yeah,
around.
right. That pops up on my For You page.
That says a
Chicks
lot.
eating donuts. Nah, but so it'll be like, you know, a real skinny, like pretty girl, but she's eating like, you know, fucking a Big Mac in one bite or shit like that. But it's like you never actually see her swallow the shit.
Yeah.
It's like, so I'm like, yo, this bitch is probably eating the shit,
Spinning
it out, and then editing it all together
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
it look like she ate fucking 10 donuts
Yeah.
in fucking 3 minutes. You know
And the
what I
point
mean?
is, Jay wants to see you swallow the Big Mac.
Oh shit.
That's a fact. No.
That's crazy.
No, but you're right. You're right. Like, with editing, the things that we're able to
Nothing
make
is
happen,
real, man.
you know what I'm saying? And
Nothing is
listen,
real.
you know what? You want to touch up some things on your photos. I am not going to knock you. I want to make that super clear, especially women. There's a lot of pressure as to how we're supposed to look on these apps. I feel you. It's fine. Touch yourself up by all means. But let's not sell ingenuine products.
That's a nice way to put it.
You
for
feel
sure.
what I'm
And
saying?
I agree. Listen, I'm not hating. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
wanna put a little makeup filter on, make it look you know,
Right.
like presentable when you ain't got no makeup on. That's cool.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Sometimes I look like dog ass. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
Facts.
a filter might help it out, or you know, a little touch up or whatever.
Yeah,
fine.
like you want to hop on, do a video. It's late at night. You know, you kind of bumming it. I understand that, but
Sure.
some should be out of control.
But like Herb said, don't be sitting there talking about, oh, thank you. I know I
Yeah,
look
it's
good
just-
in
it's
my
crazy to
picture. Like, I couldn't have. I'm too transparent. I take a regular unedited picture and people comment like, oh wow, and I'm like, nah, bro, I got mad rolls and like I get too real with people. Like I can never.
Yo, it's bad.
I
yeah.
can
who you
never.
are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you know, everybody, different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what it comes down to. My fed up with.
Oh,
Let's hear it.
but we did that already.
we all
We're
get one.
each
We gotta
going.
get yours,
We're
too.
each going. So I am fed up with hangry.
Hangry.
The hangry concept. I'm done, bro.
You know
Here's
about
the
that,
thing.
Herb?
Do you know what that is?
Nah.
Hungry and angry. Like when people get angry because they're hungry.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
It's abused. It's
lot of women.
abused. Ever since that word has been created, people have been using the fact that they're hungry as an excuse to be total assholes to the people around them.
I didn't know about that.
I am over it. I'm so over it, bro. Like you, especially grown ass people.
Right.
Let's
It's
get
one
this
thing-
done. I'm hungry. No, I'm kidding.
I'm so hungry right now. It's not even funny. But it's like I got kids, bro. I already got to deal with little assholes when they're hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like because they don't know how to be rational.
Right.
If you a grown ass person and you are giving me an attitude or you being snippy with me because you're hungry, get it together. That's how I feel.
Just eat more.
Get it, just eat, bro. Or
What pisses me off is like if it's somebody that like doesn't eat big portions, but they gotta eat like every 2 hours. I'm
Right.
like, yo, you should have finished the fucking the fries.
eat
and shit,
until
know
you
what
want
I'm
to
saying?
throw up.
And you'll
and
be
then
good for like
this-
12 hours. That's
go.
what we do.
That's Jay and
That's how I
I's
got this figure.
diet
Right here.
advice for everybody.
Just fucking eat as much as I can and then not eat for 12 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's just crazy. And it's like I just don't have the patience for it because like you eating is not my responsibility, first of all. If we're out somewhere, we're on a trip or we're running errands or whatever, don't switch up on me because you're hungry. Control yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry 24/7.
I feel like people.
That's my baseline. I'm still a good person.
I feel like people make a lot of excuses as to why they can't control their conduct or their emotions, and I think that's a relatively weak
Facts.
one because you cannot be hungry for $5. So I
Right.
feel like of all the
Facts.
lies people make up to be bitches, I feel like that's a relatively weak one to use.
That's
So
a fact.
that would-
You're right.
that would
People
have
are
me fed up,
always
too.
coming up with crazy excuses to just be assholes, bro.
Facts.
That's really what it comes
Keep a
down
little box
to.
of raisins in your pocket or something. you know?
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know how to act when you get a little, peckish, put some peanuts in your pocket or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm going to start. I'm going to start keeping sunflower seeds in my pocket. And the next time somebody gets,
Fucking throw
antsy
it
with me,
at
I'm just
them.
going to, in their face, I'm just
There
going
you
to
go.
throw it at them.
Or
Here,
you'd be like,
toma.
oh, you want McDonald's? Pick up that Big Mac, but throw it right at their fucking head.
There you go. I like that.
I just can't stand it, bro, because it's like, listen, and maybe it comes down to just, I got a lot going on in my life at all times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have stressors on stressors, and I'm still trying to, like, I don't put that on nobody. It's not your problem. It's not your fault.
I like that. It's
You know what I'm
not-
saying?
I like that.
It's
a lot.
not your
Yeah.
problem. It's not your fault. It's not my problem you're hungry. It's not my fault you're hungry.
Right.
I am responsible for 4 people consuming food on a daily basis. If you are not one of those 4 people, my children, I don't
Damn,
care,
now you're
bro.
gonna throw Bosco in there.
No, he a grown ass man. He can feed himself.
There you go.
That is what I am fed up with. So stop it. If you're a hangry person, stop it. The people around you hate you.
We'll throw a Big Mac at your head.
And we're going to throw a Big Mac at your head. And Jay wants to make sure that you swallow the whole thing afterwards.
There you go.
Yo, enough with the swallowing. Hey, yo. Herb, you got anything you're
What are
fed
you
up
fed
with?
up with?
Couple things, man.
All right, let's hear it.
I think currently the thing that has me the most annoyed, and I don't want to, turn this into a Kevin Samuels show, but
I already know what's coming now.
I'm kind of upset with women who say or claim that I don't like when women get mad at you because you doing your thing, you out playing the field, and they playing the field, but you're a little more honest and open about it. You're not hiding it. You're not lying. So they get on you and they get mad like, oh, you're talking to other women. You say that to all the girls. When you saying what you saying to me to like 10 other niggas, and I'm not tripping on it.
You're
know
just
what I'm
being
saying?
honest about
right.
it.
I think that, I feel personally that I don't want to use the term double standard, but maybe that is what it is. I think that women need to either one or two things. Either if you want a man to be committed to you, you have to say that. I can't read your mind.
Facts.
And I'm not Blues Clues and Steve. Like I'm not gonna look for clues about. You know what I'm saying? Because on the flip side, if I ask you, hey, you dealing with any other men? You not paying my bills. That's not your business. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like it's just not fair. Or what you could do is if you dealing with other dudes and I'm dealing with other chicks, let's have fun. Not that I am, by the way. I'm extremely exclusive. But let's just be honest and let's be transparent and let's not assassinate a single man's character, right? For being a single man. Yep. Like if I am not committed to anybody, and not that I ever would. And I knock off 5 chicks. That's not exemplary of my character. It's not me being disloyal. There's no reason not to trust me because I'm not in a relationship. So that's another thing. You can't judge a single man for being single like he's in a relationship when he's not. So that's something I'm a little fed up with. And I think men around the world, at least the ones who are good with women, can relate to that.
For sure.
That's a good one.
And that's the thing. So yes, it's women holding men to a standard that doesn't fit the title.
Exactly.
For sure. I do see a lot of that.
And you can't penalize somebody for being honest with you.
Well, that's the biggest thing. We ask for honesty and
Exactly,
transparency.
exactly.
So when you get it, you gotta take it, bro.
They don't want it. I'm telling you, they don't want it. They want to be lied to. They'll tell you, "Don't tell me about what you doing with other women," and then they see you at where was I at with shout out to Kristen. Where we was at what's that thing with all the funnel cakes?
Affair?
So you can tell I'm fat.
Carnival.
Right? I identified by the funnel cake. Yeah, we was at the carnival.
My mouth started
I fucks with
drooling.
the
What are you
funnel
talking
cake.
about?
Yeah, we was over there, and some girl seen me that I was also speaking to, And she caught an attitude, and I'm like, you told me specifically not to tell you what I got going on to anybody else. Not that I have anything going on with Kristen, but that's my point. It's like either you want me to be honest or you don't. But either way, you got to figure that out for yourself before you come to me with anything. You know what I'm saying?
And you guys weren't exclusive, correct?
Who's not exclusive?
You and the other girl.
No, we just kicking it. We just going to the fair. I wanted to see the big pigs and the cows, and I like animals. I wanted to, see if there was a cow that I could pet. You know what I'm saying? I'm very animal friendly despite the fur and all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what got me fed up. Is let's just be honest.
And also, if you expect honesty and transparency, you got to be able to swallow that pill. Exactly. You have to be able to swallow that pill.
I'll swallow that Big Mac.
It's a lot of swallowing going on here. Pause. But yes, it's like a puffy party over here. But yes, no I agree.
The word of the episode is swallow. Apparently. No, but I agree with you 100%. Listen, I had to learn that very early on in my relationship. I'm like, I'm huge on communication. I'm huge with honesty. I'm like, yo, don't just keep it real with me, whether I like it or not. Mm-hmm. And I had to learn very early on that, because he's a very honest person. He used to give it to me straight. He's like, this is what the deal is. Mm-hmm. And I was like, excuse me?
I don't like the truth.
How dare you? You know what I mean? But it's like, yo, whether you like it or not, at least you're not being lied to.
I agree.
We don't want to be lied to, bro.
No lying.
Nobody wants to be lied to. So you got to be able to take that medicine a little bit. You know what I mean?
100%.
I agree.
So that's what had me a little on edge, but it's all good because I'm not talking to anyone right now, unless I am. I'm not showing where this is coming out. But as of this very second, I'm just chilling, hanging out on the Sin and Twin podcast. So that's it. Don't be mad at me. I'm a good guy.
I'm a good guy. But let's get into the music.
Music.
All right. This is going to be a fun conversation. We want to talk about Kendrick Lamar, K-Dot, GNX.
This is one of those statuses Herb be posting. I'll be triggering people.
I feel like, let me put my stance out there real quick. I want to get mine out the way so that Herb can fully express everything he has to say and maybe even educate me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to that because, I appreciate it. I have GNX on rotation daily. Daily, bro. And here's the thing. I'm going to be honest because I'm not even going to front. I don't care to. I was not big on Kendrick prior to the beef.
Wow.
I not that I didn't like him or like his music. He
just didn't do it for you?
It just wasn't crossing my path too much. And I didn't seek him out. If I'm being honest, I just didn't, right? That being said, the whole beef thing happened. I try to make sure that I listen to every word of what Drake said, every word of what Kendrick said. And then Not Like Us. Not Like Us happened. And it was fire. But I'm gonna let you finish. But GNX, okay, I personally feel like that album has something for everybody on it. You know what I'm saying? I've never listened to a Kendrick album top to bottom prior to this one. A whole album. Definitely like multiple songs, but not a whole album. This is me. That's why I said you about to educate me, right? I'm just saying. But I'm being honest as far as like my I don't know if you want to call it knowledge, but my familiarity with Kendrick Lamar, it's lacking.
Okay.
It's lacking. I know the mainstream hits he's had in the past. That's about it. If I'm being honest, I get attacked a lot for that, so I wanted to clear the air. I just wanted to.
Why would you listen to Kendrick Lamar, who makes music for nerds and men? So
nerds and men,
I completely understand why you wouldn't.
All right. What do you? So what do you think
about what?
GNX.
You said not.
GNX.
You haven't mentioned a single song on GNX. You talked about Not Like Us. So.
I got all the songs. I could talk about every single one if you want. But I was just talking about the album in general.
The album, I think the album was all right. I think I've listened to every single Kendrick Lamar album.
Okay.
Oddly enough, unlike you, I was like, we're polar opposites because I wasn't really. I knew Drake could rap, and I knew he had a few songs that like I knew.
Right.
But until the rap war, I wasn't like a fan of his at all.
Okay.
But that. Yeah, man, Drake smoked that boy. But
you think so?
As rapping wise, absolutely. Because here's the problem that I have, right? We're not judging the bars the bars in exchange to one another. That's not what this is about. This is about Kendrick as a person versus Drake as a person, because Kendrick is like Bob Dylan. He's like who else? There are some people that whether the song is good or bad, they're going to be placed on a certain pedestal because of the kind of artist they are and what they represent.
Yes,
whereas
I can see
Drake is viewed wrongly, in my opinion, as a pure pop artist, and he's like he's the kind of celebrity that people say they don't care about when the house burns down, because it's
Facts.
cool to hate on him because of where he is. But
Right.
you brought up Not Like Us. Let's just talk about Not Like Us for a second.
Okay.
Of the many accusations Kendrick made against Drake, let's talk about two of them, right? One of them was his abusive relationships with women, correct?
Correct.
We all heard that. Another one was the fact that Drake uses ghostwriters, correct?
Correct.
Who the fuck is Kendrick Lamar signed to? Anyone know?
Isn't it TDE? Or is that not the label?
Who's TDE signed to? Aftermath.
Aftermath.
Dr. fucking Dre. The
Okay.
guy, look, let me say something right here. Dr. Dre is the greatest hip hop producer of all time.
I know you love Dre.
Bar. No, it's not about loving him. I don't really like the beats he did after Doggy Style.
01
I
or
wasn't
99.
crazy. Like Dre's 90s stuff to me is the best. I mean, In the Club is fire, but as far as like the shit that I bump, NWA's second album, The Chronic and Doggy Style are masterpieces. But my point is this: Kendrick is allowed to say, you have ghostwriters, you beat women, when he has Dr. Dre come and introduce the song at the Pop Out concert, who is known for not writing his own rhymes and smacking the shit out of women, right? But no one says, wow, Kendrick, isn't that a little contradictory?
Barnes?
See, you don't even know what the girl I'm talking about. So, like, why has nobody called Kendrick on that? Why? Because he's the angel. He can't do nothing wrong. So when you have a guy like Drake, I'm yelling. When you have a guy like Drake, who is cool to hate on, he can do no right. Even though Drake has taken everything Kendrick said against him in those diss records and responded to it, and Kendrick just, Drake dropped, let me drop 2 songs that have nothing to do with what he said. If we're battle rapping, and I'm battling you, and I'm like, yo, what you gonna do? You're ugly and your shirt is blue, right? I'm talking about something right there. If you don't respond like, yo, you look like a her, why you a man, you wearing fur? Like, you have to say something in response to what I say. Kendrick didn't do none of that. Kendrick talking about stuff from 2010. So by battle rap rules, he lost. By just being consistent, in what he was saying, he lost. You're talking about Drake is a colonizer. Drake isn't doing anything to bring back blacks together. And then on your biggest stage, the Pop Out concert, you have a bunch of bloods dance, a bunch of gang members dancing around. When your whole thing is, we need to bring back black people up. Why wouldn't you get like some kids at a HBCU to come on stage? Why would you pick gang members? Why would that be what you decide to represent at your biggest moment? You see what I'm saying? Another contradiction, but people let it go because it's Kendrick. As far as GNX, it was a pleasant album. It was probably my favorite to listen to. Like, I've listened to all Kendrick's albums. I think after Kanye West, Kendrick is probably the best album artist we've ever had in hip hop. I think this album was the most listenable, but I don't think it was his best. I think.
What do you think about Good Kid, Mad City?
I wasn't crazy about it.
No.
I think his best is I think Butterfly is the album that's.
Because for me, is like, I like Kendrick a lot. I'm not the biggest Kendrick fan.
Right.
But like, Good Kid, Mad City, I got that on vinyl. I really love that record. Butterfly, I didn't have on vinyl, but I was into that record, and then I kind of like fell off in the terms of just like following him and his music. Like,
right.
I heard a couple of records off of like Damn and stuff. But I definitely like the new record. Like, I think the production's really well done. And just like the tone of the album. Like, it's got a lot of like dark tone to it, which I like.
For sure. No, it wasn't bad. And it's the only Kendrick album that has songs that I play. Cause like I think Kendrick is a master at what he does. But it's just not the kind of music that I would listen to for fun. You know
Well, that's another thing too, is I feel like he definitely does like concept albums. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And Like you said the other day, I think you posted, you were like, yo, I only fuck with this album because it doesn't have aliens.
Yeah, he's
he
not
doesn't
doing
talk
the
like
weird
an,
voice.
And
yeah.
like I totally get that because
Yeah.
like to me is like you like his records like you really got to be a Kendrick fan. Like
Absolutely.
where like what you were saying about Drake is like anybody's gonna listen to like a lot of Drake stuff and be like, oh, this is good, keep this on or party to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I didn't even really like address the beef with nobody just because like I'm not a hater of Drake, but I just don't like his music.
That's
like
fine.
it doesn't do it for me. So
Right.
like rather than even like getting into it, it's like I just don't even care to listen to him. So,
Right.
And like I'm kind of like past the whole like, you know, I used to really enjoy rap beef when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I also
now I'm
feel
just-
like rap beef when we were younger was more respectable. Am I wrong in that?
What do you mean by that?
I just mean that like nowadays, and I could be wrong. Again, I try not to speak on things that I don't know too much about, but like I feel like these beefs that we see now, I mean, this was really the biggest one that we've seen as of late.
For sure.
But I feel like it's so much pettier
well, that's the
versus
thing now.
when we
like,
were
with-
younger. Rap beef used
we're
to
in the
be
information
raw,
war,
used to
though,
be
too, like-
rough, you know?
like you know, everything is he said, she said now, like online, where it's like I feel like, you know, when like Ja and 50 were going at it, it was like more like what they knew about each other, like through actual people. That
Right,
know
we
each
weren't
other,
privy
they
to
seen.
that, to all that.
Where
yeah.
like now everything is like, yo, somebody posted about, like you said, that he could just say, he could come out with something that he was not even responding to it. Somebody said it online. Now I could be like, oh, like Herb wears fucking purple every day, and it's like, meanwhile you be wearing all different colors. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
But
let
let me just say, I'm sorry. I think
Yeah.
Kendrick definitely won, but he didn't rap better than Drake during the battle. Like he won on some like clickbaity, like hot topic content, but that's still
Right,
winning. That's the
right.
game we're in now. Like if this was the '90s, Drake would have smoked him. But this, I think Kendrick played it and strategized it way better.
Right.
So Kendrick won, but lyrically as a rapper, I was more impressed with Drake's performance.
Okay. I definitely want to go back and listen to the Drake portion of things again because like I said, when I did, I waited till it all calmed down. It was like too hot and I was like, I don't even want to, it was just too much in the moment. So then I went and I put together like in chronological order, a list of the songs. I said, all right, let me sit down. Let me listen to all of them. Let me look at the lyrics while I'm listening. Let me pay attention to what everybody's saying. And now I feel like so much time has passed that I'm like, I don't even remember Drake's portion of it. And it's like you said, because the way everything Kendrick said blew up and caught so much heat and traction and clickbait and all that stuff. So my question for you guys is, as far as GNX as an album, do you think that it is the most mainstream of Kendrick's works? As far as
I
like,
just don't even really like get that like vibe from him in general, though. That it's like me, because I just feel like he makes like different style of music. Like I feel like he's
it's
in his
always
own
different.
lane.
Yeah. I just feel
What do you
like
think, Herb?
listening to this album, I'm like, man, and again, it could be my ignorance to all like most of his other work, but I'm like, this feels like more of a everybody like you don't have to be a Kendrick fan to say like, oh, this is a bop. You know what I mean? Like whereas some of his other
Well, he
stuff,
did,
it's
because
like,
he, like we were saying before, like he didn't do a lot of like weird shit on this album,
right.
But I even feel like Herb, you remember the Swimming Pools record?
Yeah.
So like even that, like that was like one of the first Kendrick songs I had heard, and like it has that like kind of like commercial production to it, but I still feel like he just doesn't give me that like regular like radio or commercial vibe. Like I never really got that from his music. But.
Yeah, I feel like this album has like, it's like half and half for me.
No, I
with
would
that.
definitely say this is his most commercial project, and I'd say that because, you know, to his credit, Kendrick is a West Coast artist who has never relied on the West Coast sound. Like,
this
Right.
so I respect, and I respect that about him. I respect the fact that he has Dr. Dre, who I said is the best producer of all time and the king specifically of the West Coast, and never really used his beats like that. Like he had an in-house team where he went and got jazz guys. So I think this is his most mainstream album, but I think it should be noted that Not Like Us is probably the first super West Coast record he ever made.
Yeah.
And then you can hear him like copying the Not Like Us beat like on TV Off. Like that's the same. It's the same.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
It's almost like a maybe not a B-side. It's almost like
It's like the sequel.
Yeah, it's like Mustard was picking between which one of these am I going? Because sometimes as a
Yeah.
musician you have a riff and you want to play with it two ways. Pause.
Yep.
So I feel like this was that for Mustard. It's like, all right, I have this one, I have this one. Which one am I going with? So he definitely piggybacked off the Not Like Us sound to make this album. And Not Like Us is his biggest hit to date. So just off of that, it's definitely his most mainstream. But I don't think he sold out or anything. I think he's tremendous at that, at remaining, at having a certain level of artistic integrity that I commend him for.
Yeah.
And this, I want everybody to take note of what I'm saying. I think Kendrick is a nerd, but I still think he's incredible. I'm still able to objectively, analyze him. He's not my cup of tea, but I can still give him his props. Like, you don't have to be a hater. Like, you can not like Drake and then admit that the man is a master pop rap artist. Like, Drake is incredible. They're both incredible. I don't feel like we have to dog one to support another.
No, I agree with that.
Which is definitely what's been going on.
Yeah, I
especially
agree
for
with
Drake.
that 100%. Like, people have been absolutely dragging him left and right over pretty much anything.
The older I get too, the more I'm just like, why hate on somebody who's doing well for themselves, but that I don't like it. Because when we're younger, especially, we're like, yo, that motherfucker's trash, or like, make fun of somebody for listening to a certain artist. And the older I get, especially as being a musician, I'm just like, yo, like, that dude is busting his ass to put those records out and get that fan base. So
he's living off of it. That's the dope thing.
See,
that's the best part about it.
Like Drake, when I was younger, I'd be like, this shit's whack. Like, Sin was super into Drake when he first came out. And I used to be like, yo, his flows just like Wayne. I can't tell the difference sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like as I got older, I'm like, yo, this dude's the biggest fucking artist in the world. Like, who am I to be like, oh, he's fucking garbage? It's
that
like,
was me with Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, that's just not my thing.
I didn't want to hear anything about Nicki. I didn't want to hear nothing about Nicki. I was just like, bro, I didn't like her style of rap. I didn't like the whole like say a sentence, boom, word. You know what I'm saying?
That was that whole clique though. They were all
all doing that.
Shout out to
same
Big Sean because he started that.
Yeah. She oh man, she would get under my skin with the way she would like. It was her whole style of rap and her whole way.
And I bet now you look at the rappers now and you like, yo, Nicki was nice.
Now, so first of all, like you said, as I've gotten older, I'm like, first of all, like she did what the hell she had to do to get through the door. And notice how when she first came up, it was crazy outfits, crazy wigs, crazy this, crazy that. And then the second she got to where she needed to be, she was like, all right, bet, I'm me now. Like, I don't need to put on the theatrics. You do sometimes got to do what you got to do to get to where you want to be,
She's
right?
just a Busta fan.
You know what I'm saying? Well,
Busta Missy.
Yeah. Right. Makes sense. Those were also the days, though, where everybody was trying to be, like, shocking. Gaga was coming out with, like, the meat dress. Nicki was coming out with a dress where like you can't see her face, and like it just felt like everybody was kind of just trying to get that good shock factor,
for sure.
Which is fine. I don't knock that either, but something like I just couldn't get on board with her. And then now, like as time has passed, I have a lot of respect for her. I wish she moved better as a person. Like music aside, I feel like I wish she moved better as a person. I wish she wasn't so insane personally, because I feel like she could have like I just feel like why bash the people trying to come up under you feel me? Like she does a lot of that. She does a lot of women hating. She does a lot of she moves funny all the time, and it's like there's not a lot of respect for those before or after her. It's Nicki and only Nicki, and as a woman, like I don't have a lot of respect for that.
But to be fair, that's kind of just hip hop though. Like,
no, it is.
It's probably more magnified because of how few female artists there are. But
right.
I feel like Lauryn Hill and maybe like Queen Latifah are the only two female rappers I can think about that was never catty about other, like even MC Lyte was dissing other women.
Yep.
And stuff, so
That's true.
I get what you say. It would be dope if Nicki, like, I think it would be dope and probably profitable for her if she maybe took the time to mentor some of these girls because they definitely looked up to her.
That's what I'm saying. So many of them like would name her as their biggest inspiration, and then it's like she gets wind of it and she's like
She's definitely bad with it. Yeah.
And it just feels like bad business, bro. Like where she's at right now in life, like, yo, keep rapping, keep doing your thing, fine. But you would think, like you said, she's taking on mentoring, somebody under her, or, she could be doing everything that all the OGs are doing right now with just bringing artists up. And I just feel like she's choosing violence instead.
Yeah, it's definitely a missed
all
opportunity.
the time. And then the way she behaves on social media and the way she comes at anybody's throat, her own fans.
Word, I didn't know about that.
She comes at her own fans if they say something that she reads out of context.
Oh, that's not
and she'll
cool.
trash them. And it's just like, to me, I don't respect it, bro.
You
Like,
can't
these people
disrespect the fans.
pay to see you, pay to listen to you. Like, and her fans are insane,
Yeah,
too.
they go crazy for
They
her.
go hard for her. So, like, if I was her, like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be able to do my fan base like that if they rode that hard for me. But she be doing it.
But I don't want to like. It does look a little nasty because there are so few women, but like hip hop is filled with OGs hating on or they're being like Drake and Wayne have both at different points said that Jay-Z was their favorite rapper, and Jay-Z's dissed both of them, and Kanye dissed Drake, and like, you know what I mean? It's more magnified because it's Nicki, but I feel you. She's missing out. She missed out. It's too late now.
Yeah.
She definitely missed out on an opportunity to be just like a big sister to these girls and really help them
and it's
along.
super competitive too, hip hop.
It is.
Very, very.
It is. And also to see all the women coming up in hip hop right now and like see how much they're dominating and how they're really, making space and holding space for women in hip hop.
For sure.
Yo, did you hear that girl Doechii? I think her name is Doechii.
Yo.
You heard her rap her?
Nah, I haven't.
She was on, what was it, Tiny Desk? What is that
Tiny
called?
Desk, yo, she's fire.
She works with Kendrick though, right? Or Kendrick signed her or something like that.
Honestly, bro, so I seen her pop up on the Tiny Desk, and I was like, oh shit, this is fire. And then I was listening to GNX the other day, and it came up on the algorithm, and I was like, yo, who is this? Because I was like, I wonder if this is Doechii, and I looked at my phone, and it was, and I was like, I haven't taken the time to listen to her or really get to know her yet, but I'm definitely interested.
Nah, I've heard people.
Yeah, she's getting a lot of traction right now from that Tiny Desk performance.
One of my boys who I respect a lot, who's a producer, shout out Brett Wonder, he posted about her, and I was like, oh, it's funny because you know when you have like similar tastes in music with somebody, so like if somebody posts them, you'll be like, oh, I gotta peep them because you respect their musical tastes. So I definitely got to check her out. But
speaking of recommendations, before we're totally off the topic,
yep.
I didn't listen to Drake like you said. I wasn't into him either because it's very poppy and all that. But I very much recommend. What rappers do you like?
Who do I like? Like current or just in general?
Just in general.
Just in general. So I listen. One of my favorite rappers, Vinny Paz from Jedi Mind Tricks.
Wow,
Yeah.
you kind of look like him now that I think about it. Okay.
That's like he's top five.
My favorite
for me.
Reaction ever.
Not that I think he's top five, the best rapper
Right,
ever
no,
lived.
that's your man,
For personally,
Hell
for
yeah.
me, obviously Biggie, Nas. I know you got some beef with Nas.
I don't know him.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, okay. I never know.
Who else do I listen to?
But you like real MCs. sound
I'm into like
Listen to
lyrical shit.
This is what made me a Drake fan. Listen to is Scary Hours 3. Because remember, he put out For All the Dogs and everybody called it corny. And like, why aren't you rapping? You're 40. Rap better. He met the challenge. He did a EP called Scary Hours 3. Some of the best rapping I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
And I'm a Big L fan, Big Pun fan.
Yeah. Pun's one of my favorites.
All the greats I
got
listen
that
to.
Capital Punishment on vinyl. You know what I'm
Son,
saying?
Pun is get out of here with Pun.
Bro, that production too is just silly.
Nah,
man.
Pun is
Silly.
top. I think he's top 10 all time, maybe more. It just he died,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
listen,
he went too early, man.
definitely listen to Scary Hours 3. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
if you don't listen to the whole
check
thing,
it out. Check it out.
listen to Stories About My Brother, and listen to Evil Ways. He's going back and forth with Cole, and I'm sure you have respect for Cole as a lyricist.
Yeah, I fuck with Cole.
He's
I
right
love
there.
Cole.
with
Love Cole.
I'm telling you, listen
Love
to
him.
Evil Ways and Stories About My Brother.
Bet.
I promise you, your opinion. Will
Yeah,
change.
no, I'm gonna check it out, and we'll address it on the podcast.
Yes, sir. Please do.
Definitely
Yeah,
gonna
we
check
got to bring
that
that
out.
back up. So it's funny. I want to bring it back to the point that you had made about how hypocritical it can be because Kendrick is calling Drake out for certain things, and then people aren't paying attention to, his own crew. I did actually just see somebody make the same point saying Kendrick's wife isn't black, just like Drake's baby mom isn't black.
Right.
So what are we doing right now? Talking about, because, that was something that he was coming at Drake for. And he's so like, lift up black women and all this stuff. And then people are like, did anybody notice Kendrick's girl is not black?
I think
Is
she's
he-
like mixed or something.
I was
but-
like, I didn't check her out.
Kendrick was definitely pushing the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Like that's one of his catchphrases. Well,
Yeah.
see, that's a little more minor to me because I feel like in the hypocrisy case against Drake, he is accusing Drake of things.
Oh,
that
I see
his
what
own
you're saying.
people
Yeah,
are
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily wrong to encourage dark-skinned women to believe they're beautiful, even if you don't
no,
have
like,
one
that's-
on your. Yeah, it's not wrong,
Yeah.
but I don't necessarily think it's hypocritical,
Right.
Because they don't get a lot of representation.
Facts.
And Kendrick, up until now, has been very like he only recently started like not showing, but like being outside with his wife because he kept everything close to the chest. So
Sure.
I feel like that's and see how objective I'm being because Drake made that same accusation. So I don't. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's really
He's a fair guy.
hypocrisy.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're a fair guy, for
exactly,
sure, for sure. No, I mean, like I said, I want to go back and I want to listen to Drake's portion of everything. But it is nice to hear your perspective of things and how objective you are being about both sides of it. Because I mean, everybody's like, this is my guy, the other one could burn in hell.
Yeah, nah,
You know what I mean? Like it's
I don't really
crucifying
like that,
one while lifting the other, and it's just like, and Drake too. Like, I would personally like to see Drake just, I don't know, come back, put something out. You know what I mean? Like,
I think he should use this because Drake is very good, and this is why I didn't really listen to him because I don't like emotional hip hop. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You got to be calling people bitches and snitches. Like, I like that, but he's very good at taking his emotions and putting that into music, and especially with today's content-driven age.
Yeah.
If he came out with a whole album just about how he feels after all this, it would do just because it's so on the moment.
That's true.
He's missing an opportunity by not.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm always wondering to myself, is he cooking right now and we just don't know it?
Oh,
He
sure.
could be.
It's
He
a-
just
it's-
came
I mean,
out
he
it's
with
put out a
something.
lot of records though too. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
Drake, right? Like Drake has a lot of records out.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
he does.
and
does.
he, he's one of the most streamed artists in the world. So it's like, if anything, when he waits, it's even better for.
Yeah,
probably.
but then if it's whack, if it's not like amazing, then he's gonna be like.
I know. I feel like the
Yeah.
pressure right now is
Yeah, I
gotta be
just wouldn't know,
insane.
'cause
Like
That's the
anything
thing.
he does.
Like he drops something, I don't even let. The only reason I hear it is
Yeah.
because it's gonna come across my
Exactly,
desk at
yeah.
some point. Because
Can't avoid it.
he's fucking. He's a massive artist. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Right now, my house is a little divided. My oldest daughter is, I don't know, discovering Drake for the first time. She's 14. She's been on to Drake, but now there's something very interesting happening right now with teenagers where everything we listened to at 14 is coming back. Like she was just bopping Lloyd in the car.
Oh wow.
And I was like, and she goes, let me put you on. And I was like, bitch.
Put me on.
I was like, you ain't putting me on to nothing. Like I sang that when I was like 2 years younger than you. Like that song
Right.
is old to me.
Right.
So speaking of cooking, Herb, why don't you let the people know what you got going on these days?
Well, I'm always making music, never releasing it, but that'll change this year. And I'm always playing shows. I'm always gigging. I've been gigging a lot recently with a Jimi Hendrix tribute act called Kiss the Sky. Shout out to Mike and Jimmy and Moby and everybody over there. And that's been a real blessing and good experience, especially because I wasn't really a Hendrix fan because it wasn't groovy to me. It just wasn't like my cup of tea. I was really into Led Zeppelin. But
Interesting.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin is my shit. The part that I play in the band though is when Jimmy tapered off and had an all black group called the Band of Gypsies. And I wasn't that familiar with that music, but when I got the job, I really dug into it and I really started listening to it and getting the backstory and reading books about it, and that made me a big Jimmy fan. Because it's more groovy, it's more funk oriented. That's my kind of thing. And what I didn't know is that like a lot of Hendrix's sound early on was determined by his British, aka white handlers, and he wasn't really given creative control. Like he never picked his bandmates. You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, he wasn't from England, so he didn't know those guys.
Yeah.
But the band of Gypsies is Billy Cox, who I met. I met like Billy Cox, and like he shook my hand and told me he loved what I was doing. It was
that's
a big
so
deal
fire.
because I'm playing his music, and Billy Cox was someone Jimmy college age grew up with, and then Buddy Miles, who I play, is the drummer / singer that he met on the Chitlin circuit in the early days, and it's music that Jimmy really wanted to make. It was funky. It was like more based in reality, whereas the other experience stuff was more psychedelic. So that's been a real blessing, and it's made me kind of want to come back to what I do, because that's what I got from it. Is like it's my favorite Jimmy music, and it was the truest to him. So it's inspired me to kind of go back to what it is I really love about music, which is more hip hop, a little bit of funk. So that's the direction I'm going in the future. But shout out to Kiss the Sky. It's always a blessing jamming with them. And,
speaking of hip hop and funk, I did make it out to Mazstock this year, so I could check out the team finally. So me and her have been.
Well, for those who don't know, what is that? Madstock?
Oh, Mazstock is a music festival here in Marlboro, New York,
yes,
right?
it is Mazstock is the premier music festival located here in Marlboro, New York, Ulster County, put on by two of my best friends. They're like my white fathers, Big Lee Mazzola and Vinny Palmerico of the AMG. Those guys have done so much for me. And playing at Mazstock is always a pleasure. It's always a great time. Peace, love, good vibes, great music. So definitely get your tickets for 2025. We'll be there. And shout out to Big Lee and Vinny, as always.
Shout out to you guys.
I got to check it out.
Shout out to Mazstock. But so yeah, I got to finally check out the team. What I was going to say is me and her, we've been friends online for a while, and we're both musicians, so we like to talk music and stuff. So he invited me out to Mazstock, and I was lucky enough to get on the guest list and check out my boys' band. And man, you guys killed it.
I'm glad you think so, because I thought that set was pretty.
Nah, it was great.
Bad.
And why don't you kind of tell the people what you do when it comes to hip hop and funk, at least with the team, because I know with the Jimi Hendrix band you're playing drums.
Drums
right?
and singing, yeah.
Okay, so what about the team?
In the team, I do whatever is needed. I sing, I play guitar, I play bass, I play drums. I've played keyboard a couple times. It doesn't usually go good because I'm not great at that, but yeah, whatever needs doing in the team, I do it. I'm definitely the front man and the leader, and it's been a great run. We gigged more than any other band locally.
Yeah, you guys are busy like a motherfucker.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
One of the hardest working bands in the Hudson
Hardest
Valley.
working band in show business. The shout out to James Brown. We had a great run, and that was that Mazstock set. I'm glad you liked it. I don't want to cast aspersions on it, but it wasn't up to par for me, for a couple reasons. But I definitely. It was cool. It was. I think the first time we did an all original set, and it was good that the music went over because.
Yeah, the music was fire, and definitely I was impressed with not only the way you put the set together and the flow of the set, which I think is super important, as a performer, but the content of the music and the rapping and. The side piece song, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, that was a good one. You know what's crazy
Bro,
about that song?
You blew me and my girl's mind with that shit. I was like, yo, this man is a fucking genius right here.
Bro.
And after I just want to say, after seeing you guys, and like I said, just from, putting a good set together, and not only like the set is good, the music is good, but the content was so good that, much respect to you, bro, and I was very impressed.
Thank you. And don't worry, I'm not tripping. You can say that N-word around me. So, side nigga, the funny thing about that song is that I wrote that to mess with, because I was this was before the team had really taken off, where I was still like filling in here and there for other bands. So like I was playing with a couple white bands, and I just thought it'd be funny to like scare them, like, hey, here's
Bro,
a song with the N-word in it.
Oh
Let's
my
you guys can help me
God.
with the backing vocals.
Yo, yeah, explain
you
to
gotta
Sin
tell me
and our
about
listeners
this.
how you like basically got people to sing the song, or
So-
well, nobody really sings the song because they be
Right.
scared. But this is why, like, I wanted to kind of unwrap this like this because, man, this was one of my favorite live moments at any show.
Wow,
You know what I'm saying?
thank you,
And that's
thank
why
you.
I said, like, listen, like, I know you're a professional and you hold yourself to a high standard, but like, you know, performing also isn't always about it being perfect, but to captivate and like capture something.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, like I said, I went with me and my girl, shout out to Stephanie, but like we were both like afterwards, like, damn, man. And like the shit gets stuck in your head,
That's
you know
what
what I'm
it's supposed to
saying?
do.
And,
Thank
and
you.
we driving home singing the songs, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
let's
So
go. Thank you,
it
thank
was
you.
fire. It was fire.
So tell me about this song specifically.
So I'm a huge James Brown fan. Let's start there. James Brown is my favorite artist of all time. Most influential artist of all time, in my opinion. You know,
Okay.
you could argue your Elvis and your Beatles and all that, but I don't hear nobody doing Elvis and the Beatles right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
At the Bruno Mars and Beyonce was having a dance battle to James Brown like a couple years ago. James Brown's still very relevant, but
The break beats too.
absolutely, I'm a huge fan of him, and he has a song called "Licking Stick." And you know, I'm also a fan of Kanye West, despite some of the things he says. And his song "Gold Digger" is obviously a huge hit. We play it; it goes over great. Now, as I try to make original music, what I do is I look at the songs, the covers that we do, and I see which ones go the best. And I try to make music that doesn't copy it, but is in the same vibe.
Sure.
So Kanye West took Ray Charles's "I Got a Woman" and flipped that to make it "Gold Digger." So I took "Licking Stick" by James Brown and flipped that to make it "Side Nigga," right? And the song is basically about, you know, it's like being a side nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And the chorus is like, I mean, I wish it was like on streaming or something, but the chorus is "I'm a side nigga." So that's the hook, right? And the white people are dancing, but they're dancing a little bit like scared because, you know, it's the N-word. So we broke it down, and I was like, all right, y'all can sing along now. I changed it from side nigga to side wigger. So we did a whole like, side, when I say side, you say wigger, side. And then you could tell like they were just so excited because they wanted to say the N-word, but they couldn't. So
Yo,
I threw them a
fucking
bone.
genius. I'm telling you,
thank you.
genius work, bro.
That was definitely a highlight of the show. The other highlight for me was meeting Dr. Davison, Miss Jules Davison. She's been an incredible friend and supporter, and that was a magical moment for sure. But other than that, I wasn't really that happy with that show. The other thing I thought was very good was the end part where we had that saxophone battle. I thought that shit.
fucking-
Hold
that's
up.
what I'm saying, bro.
Hold
Like,
up. I've said this before on the pod. You get me with a saxophone.
Yeah.
I think
she's
I have
a
heard you
sax.
say that before.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I love a good
Bro, and that's what I'm
sax.
saying though. It's like, you know, theatrics,
Mm-hmm.
music, and like there's so much more. So like with like the last couple of shows I've done, like I've had Sin host it because it's like I want to like bring something to the show that's different. And
Right.
like, you know, a lot of times too, you know, I have friends come out that they're not necessarily like the biggest fans of Hamilton Fish, but they like the music, but
Right.
they're coming out to support me. So
Absolutely.
it's like I always want to give, you know, the people who are coming through that door and paying more than just our songs and our
Absolutely.
music. And I
Right.
felt like that's something that you do so well is like
Thank you.
the entertainment. Like I said, like him coming out with the sax and then battling and shit. Like, yo, that shit was hilarious, bro. We were going off. I'm telling you, me and my girl were going off for a
I'm
day or two
so
after
mad that I missed this.
Yeah. Nah, it
Oh,
was
shout out
fire.
to your girl, by the way. This is what made me feel better about Mastock, because I was really down about it. I was taking this young lady out to the Candlelight concerts in
Yep,
Poughkeepsie,
yep.
and I didn't realize you had to pay to get a picture at the end. So, you know, the lady's like, well, I'll say her name. Her name is Kristen. Very nice lady. She was like, can we take a picture again? We was dressed up like Johnny Yoko and all that. And I'm like, oh, damn, I don't think so. And then as we're walking out, I felt bad because it's like, damn, it's only $10. Like, I had it, but it was like full or whatever.
Yeah.
As I'm walking away, a young lady says, are you Hollywood Herb? And now my ego's on 10. I'm like, yeah, I might be. Wow, what's up? You know what I mean? And then she goes, oh my God, we saw you with Mad Style. And I'm like, oh, now's my chance. So I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Hey, can we take a picture? And she was like, well, you're supposed to. Oh, I don't want to snitch on her.
Yeah.
But she helped us out. So shout out to Stephanie.
Yep,
shout
that's
out
my girl.
to Kristen. Don't let that one go. You got to go.
Yeah. It was great. It was dope. She was like, yo, Hollywood Herb, popped up at the candlelight. She was like, I was able to help him out and get him the picture. And I was like, oh, dope, and Herb had hit me up and thanked me and was thanking Stephanie. So
Stephanie always hooks it up.
And that's how I know it wasn't that bad, because if it was, she probably would have looked at me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would have been a little awkward. So.
she'd have been like, I'll help you, but that set was whack.
Right, yeah. So shout out to her, man. That was dope.
That's dope, man. Like, and I always believe, if you're a good person, and you do good things, that shit always comes back to you.
Absolutely.
So, it's nice
That's
also to have a community, you know what I'm saying, up here and like in the music scene where you see like my girls does live events. So like when I put on events, my girl works too. Like I pay her and she'll run the door. Like,
man, that's fucking dope.
Yeah,
bro.
you know
That's
what I'm saying?
amazing.
So, and I'm definitely like the type of person like I try to keep everything, in my community. So like,
sure.
If I could put money in my boy's pocket or my girl's pocket or my family or my cousin, like I'm always
Or me.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Now,
Dude doesn't want to pay me, bro. No, I'm
bullshit. I pay.
I'm
her
kidding.
for the
No, he
shows.
does. He does. He
Don't
pays
let
me.
her
He pays
try
me.
to put shit on my name on this podcast.
I ain't in it, man. Y'all just similar beef.
Just like I said, I think that's just, us coming together. It's like being good people and doing what we love, and that shit always comes back. So
sure.
I'm glad she was able to help you out.
I mean, I think that whole concept is what makes so many creatives and especially musicians, like that differentiates the ones that can potentially get somewhere and will get somewhere versus the people that are kind of just going to be, treading water, right? Because it's all about putting good out, not just good music. But you gotta
just be a good person.
Be a good person. Sure. Put good out there. You're gonna get good back. The same way we sitting here vibing and stuff like that. Like I hope at this point you hit us up. You want to collaborate. You want to do something. You want us to come through and support. We're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Got some heat, so we definitely gonna work
for sure.
So it's just supporting, and I think we've said it a million times. I sound like a broken record, but. It's just so important. And as musicians, you guys know, it's like, it means so much when people actually come through and support. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And then to hear, I'm sure for you guys, to hear somebody come and be like, yo, that set you just did was insane. You know what I'm saying?
Really
like, what a fire feeling that must be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's dope. So you were saying about the team. So what's going on with the team?
Well, for right now, the last team show is going to be Valentine's Day, February 14th at Snugs. We're still trying to get an opening act together. We definitely want an opening act that's has a female, singing or an all female band would be dope. But like it's Valentine's Day is a day of love, so we want to have the some men, some women, mix it up a little bit. Or if you both men, because I know we in New Poles, it's all good. But we just want to have that contrast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gotta have the right ratio.
Exactly.
And you said it's the last show?
It might be for the team, like it might be for a little while. Yeah.
Go out to that show.
I
That's
have
all
to.
I'm gonna say.
I have to.
You got to see how these dudes put it down.
Thank you.
Shit's
Looks like I got
fire.
Valentine's Day plans. Hold on, let me write down.
So what's up with the hip hop, Herb? I know you got bars. I know you've been rapping a long time. So
yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, as far as going back to my roots, what I love, because I do like playing instruments and I do like the band thing, but that's something I picked up later to be able to compete in this space. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't grow up with a guitar or anything like that. And that's just what I love. That's what I care about the most. You know what I mean? I love Sly and the Family Stone. I love James Brown, but both of those guys were super influential to hip hop anyway. So I discovered them through hip hop. Like, my favorite era is the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And, Public Enemy, NWA, Rakim, all those guys had James Brown breaks all over their albums. Mm-hmm. So like, you listen, you get curious, pause, you go on Wikipedia, you're like, how did they come up with that? And you see Funky Drummer was sampled in this song. Give It Up and Turn It Loose was sampled. And you're like, what are these? And you go back and you're like, oh my God. So I definitely do love the funk, and I do love some rock and roll I like. Like I really like Little Richard and Led Zeppelin and people like that. But I'm a hip hop artist first, and I've definitely been neglecting that. So I want to get back into that, you know? And I'm thinking of, I have albums ready to go, bro. Like I've got them. I just, it's the streaming era. You got to have an online presence. And despite how busy the team has been, that's something I'm lacking in. I don't do a lot of social. Like, I talk my shit, but I'm not, like, posting us everywhere all the time.
Right.
I don't do the real
You're
shit.
more like a word of mouth dude.
Yeah, but it works, though. Like, you see me be busy.
It does, yeah.
Imagine if we had the word of mouth and the online presence.
And it's funny, I was just about to say, too, is like, I feel like a lot of people do the online shit and have a good online presence, but then you go to a show and it's like there's, it doesn't translate always. So, like you said, to me, the word of mouth is always better. Mm-hmm. But if you can have both, hopefully, that could take you anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, so that's why I'm here. We get some good clips of this. We mix it in with the music, and, I'm sure it'll do numbers because you guys are great at what you do as well. And if I haven't said it yet, it really is an honor to be here because I've seen your episodes, and I like how diverse they are,
Thanks, bro.
You guys are having comedians one day, musicians the next day, a cannabis company the next day, or sometimes it just be y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still a vibe, so I definitely appreciate the opportunity.
That's a massive compliment. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
As somebody who's not doing music, this is my only baby. I so appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
doubt, man. No doubt. Because not a lot of people, but I get asked to do stuff a lot, because I'm a little outspoken,
Sure.
But not everything I say yes to. Like, I'm not going to call his name out, but there's one guy that, like, it's a podcast, but it's just like they go live on Instagram and he be in the bathroom eating, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys have a setup here. It looks good. Like, it's on the come up. So I definitely appreciate being here.
Yeah, and it's it feels good also to be able to have a platform and give a platform to, like I said, people in our community that we fuck with and that we're cool with, and that's important to us, to be able to give, like you said, maybe your online presence isn't as big, but this could also help you because people could really get to know you, who your favorite artists are, what you're into, and just some of the things that we talk about, is to try to reach people and, like I said, captivate. Right. Same thing y'all do with your music. So
absolutely,
yeah, 100%, and definitely when you start dropping your raps, when you start letting all that go, you let us know because we'll be promoting that as well. Throwing it out there, and I'm excited to hear it. I'm happy to hear that you say you're gonna go back to what means the most to you.
Got to, man.
Yeah, that's what's gonna keep everything else afloat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to always have the other projects. You're going to always, you sound like the type of person that likes to have your hands in multiple things. But to be able... hey, yo! I'm just killing it today. But you know what I'm saying, right? So it's nice to hear that you're going back to what means the most to you, because it feels like that'll just breathe life into everything you do otherwise.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
Saying?
So I'm looking forward
I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Thank you.
And February 14th, you said at Snugs and New Paltz.
Yes. And I'd like to, I come bearing gifts. We're gonna have the merch. So the team is not like officially dead. We just we doing something different with it. We definitely gonna keep the logo alive because it's
just fire.
Yeah, thank you. People recognize it. So that's never gonna die.
Fire.
Always never ever gonna die. But yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I appreciate
thank you for this.
So
thank you.
As of recent, I started calling myself a hat collector because I hit a certain number of hats where now, like, my girl's like, babe, you got too many hats.
He's an addict.
How many you got?
I probably got like 60 right now. Herb's like, I got 300. Well, I'm on my way. I just started.
You baby.
I feel like
Hold on.
I feel like once I hit like that 40, 50 mark, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just.
No, that's definitely a lot for sure.
Yeah.
You said 60, and I almost fell out my chair. And then when you didn't react, I'm like, oh my God, how many
Herb's
hats does
closet
he
gotta
have?
be crazy.
No, I'm never not wearing a hat, so I had to have a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
And I'm
my
performing
gosh.
them, so I'm sweating and I got to throw them
Oh,
out.
that's a good
what
point.
I'm saying.
That's
That's
a
why
very
I
good
try to tell Stephanie, like, I gotta have the next one lined up the other thing too is like, you know, we do the podcast. I like to have a new cap every podcast.
Yeah, you
know
gotta
what
stay
I'm saying?
fresh, man. Because they're going to get
So-
you if you don't.
Yeah. So my point of saying that I have a hat addiction is, and I got the team hat to add
you
to
do.
the collection. I appreciate
Perfect.
you.
Dude, no doubt.
Got the black and white.
No doubt.
This is fire. Well, there you have it, folks. AI is pissing Jay off. Well, more so the people that can't distinguish AI from not AI. I'm tired of hearing that you're hangry and acting like an asshole for it, so cut it out. And Herb is just requesting, ladies, please, if you want us to be honest, be able to take that honesty and be honest back. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Tired of you chicks.
Yeah, we can't read
didn't say that.
minds.
Get it together.
There you go.
I didn't say that. And then also, you know, we touched on the Kendrick and Drake beef, and then also Kendrick's new album, GNX. So with that being said, please follow us on all social medias, Sin and Twin Podcast. That's TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and everything that goes with it. You can find me at Cyndia.13 because that's my number. Herb, where can we find you?
Find me in the streets, baby. Nah, I'm playing.
Hey.
Hollywood_Herb on Instagram. That's Hollywood_Herb on Instagram. If you don't know how to spell Hollywood or Herb, then don't even bother with it. Don't worry about it.
Don't want
You
you,
don't
there.
have to follow them if you can't spell.
Shout out Capone.
Yeah, check me out at HardBernard on Instagram. Don't even bother on Facebook because I don't even know if I really be promoting on Facebook like that.
You do
Jay
better
Bernard.
on Facebook than I do.
If you want, Jay Bernard on Facebook. And like Sin said, we spoke about all those things. So if you got some beef or you agree with us or you want to ask us any questions or you want to give a shout out to Herb, hit us up, sinandtwinpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll address you on the next episode.
That's right. So if you want to shoot back at me about being hangry, I'm really stuck on the hangry thing. I can't, guys, honestly.
I think you're going to get a lot of hate for that. I think a lot of people get hangry. Man.
I hope so.
Think maybe
Bring
you
your
might be
hangry
hangry.
asses
Word,
over.
I
I
think
am
she's
pretty
hangry.
hungry. I'm not even going to
Mom
hold you.
is hangry right
I'm not
now.
going to hold you. I'm hungry, but I'm not going to take that out on anybody except for people that take that out on everybody else. Want to take us out, Jay?
Yeah. So Herb, at the end of every episode, I count to 3 and we just give a piece to the camera. You down?
Yes, sir.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Peace.
All right, Herb. So I got a beat for you. You down to spit some bars on this shit?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's hear it. This one's called Blue Dreams.
It's Big Bad, baby. Yo, calling yourself the competition, but your compositions don't offer a proper opposition to my propositions. Stop and listen to what Papa's written, cause it'll drop your optimism about hopping in the top position. Bitch, I'm flyer than a flock of pigeons, louder than the rock and rhythm section. Ain't no question who's the hottest spinning. The God I'm seeing this hip hop religion. I got the women dropping, then I'm seeing pussy like an obstetrician. A gynecologist, try and follow this rhyming novices, and you'll get polished with knowledge like Scientologists. Word to Tom Cruise, I bomb dudes, do blonde booze, get high and get cheese like pots of fondue. You know you messing with the wrong crew, and if you sleeping while we creeping, then we leave you in a long snooze. Just tell us what you want to do. Either way, you staring at the feet like you put on the wrong shoes. Step to us and it's the wrong move. Detour, my goons will come through and blow your house down. Eeyore, leave your whole body full of shells like the seashore. We spell it with 7s cause we each move with 3 4s. We spray rounds like lava when the heat pour. This ain't a playground, do you see a seesaw? And we ain't clowns, have you ever seen Saw? Mess with us and it's a guarantee that you will scream more. I don't know why you would wanna battle me, boy. It won't be a freestyle, it'll be a free fall. Jet propelled to the depths of hell. While these other rappers salty with their Epsom smell. They don't get as much checks cause they records don't sell. They don't get as much sex as they ain't dressing as well. So I understand why they getting mad, cause they're a little good, but they can never be big and bad. That's me, the world's greatest MC. I'm like B.I.G., but I'm from NB. I squeeze off till I'm empty. Don't tempt me, only to hell I send thee. All about the Benjis. What?
Okay, bro.
Rest in peace, B.I.G.
Yo, rest in peace. Yo, that was some fire, though. You killed that beat. Rest in peace to that beat.
Appreciate it, man. This is some
So-
fire shit right here, son.
Yo, big shout out to Herb because he's the first person on this podcast to do some live shit, some live fucking music. So, I think we're going to have to make that a regular thing now.
Oh, don't do that to him. Don't do that to him.
And yo, my boy set it off. He's the reason we doing that. So appreciate you, Herb.
There we go.
Good shit, bro.
Oh man, thank you.
And if y'all stick around long enough, you're gonna hear some HardBernard beats with some Herb bars on that shit soon. So check us out.
Yes, sir.
Peace.